Alright, good evening everybody. City of Clear Lake Shores City Council regular meeting November 1st, 2022 at 6:30. Call to order. We have a full quorum with all council members present. Item number 2, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the Texas flag. Alright, good evening everybody. First, item number 3, reports from council. Councilman Steve Wirtis.
As a matter of fact, I do have some comments today. First of all, I'd like to mention that Halloween was fantastic. We handed out 105 miniature cars and pieces of candy for the children. I'd like to mention also that every child, from the littlest to the oldest, were very, very well behaved. And that's a testament to the fine job parents are doing with their kids. And also I'd like to shout out to the police department. I noticed a strong police presence, even though they came by my house and made a few spooky sounds. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wirtis. Councilman Rick Fisher.
That's a tough one to follow up, but no report this time.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Fisher. Next, Councilwoman Monica Leday.
Definitely want to echo what Steve said, 100%. In addition, on Friday, November the 4th, at the Lone Star Flight Museum, there's a news conference and panel discussion on human trafficking awareness and prevention. It's an event from 10:30 to 1:30. Everybody's invited. Texas is the second ranked in cases, so it's a good thing to get prevention on. And then just a friendly reminder to be watchful for all the additional bikes this weekend, motorcycles. The Lone Star rallies in Galveston, so keep your eyes open and ears open.
Alright, thank you, Ms. Leday. Councilman Alex Scanlon.
Doing the turkeys again. I'm looking for some refrigerators to defrost 14 turkeys in, so if you've got garage fridge space, let me know. I'd appreciate it. We're also looking for some help cooking them. It'll be the 12th of November. We start at 4 a.m. There's only 3 of us so far, so come join us. And get out and vote. I voted today. If you go League City, they have a good map, shows a ton of voting locations, no lines anywhere. So however you vote, get out and take advantage of that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Scanlon. And Mayor Pro Tem Randy Chronister.
Nothing to report.
Alright, thank you. A couple notes here. Great turnout to the 11th annual CLS barbecue. Kudos to Mark Thompson and the Civic Club for putting that on. It's a huge event. Went on all Friday and Saturday. A lot of folks out there eating. Friendly reminder to folks to donate food to the Galveston Food Bank. It's that part of the year where we could really use the additional donations, and we have 3 collection boxes at the entrance of the City Hall. And myself or anybody else that wants to help will take that down there whenever those fill up each time. November 12th is the Mayor's with Heart with Kemah Boardwalk, so I encourage y'all to go online and register for that. It'll be starting at 9 o'clock over at Kemah Boardwalk. And then lastly, Thanksgiving dinner will be served November 12th, like Mr. Scanlon just talked about, and it'll be here in our great little clubhouse with a lot of smoked turkey and all the fixings. And then I'm going ahead and going to cover the mayor's report on city projects, since we don't have a city administrator right now. So Daniel Drawer Avenue, spoke with Commissioner Atfill on last Friday. The forward plan is that turn there, vehicles are taking the shortcut across there. The sign's already down. They gave us 2 alternates. Alternate 1, where they're going to pave all the right-of-way, is going to be done. Lucas Construction, who did the original road, is going to be the one doing the add-on. That'll be done, at some time as soon as they can get to it. The reason why the road hasn't opened is there's an issue with Centerpoint and the wrong transformer, so they gotta get that put in right down at the 518. And once that is put in, they'll get power meter put in, and they'll get those blinking warning lights put in. And once that's, all installed, they'll mow the right of way and, turn the road over to Clear Lake Shores, and it'll be open. So sorry for that delay, but that's what it is. The Motorola PD cameras have all been ordered. Well, we received all the cameras, but we did the amendment for the 5G wireless routers. That's all been signed. Safety vision cameras are going to be returned for a credit. Shell Bottom Park keeps moving forward with the RFQ process, and that's going out for bids. City carpet's done. The City Hall generator has some safety issues with all the wood deck around it, so we're gonna get that redone. We signed a work order for that to be done by CLS Builders, and then KISS Generators will move the generator out of the way. Okies Drainage has been turned on, that contract, that'll be led by Mr. Ellison also, as a project lead. Pardon our dust while we do the construction on that. It'll take about 2 weeks. They should mobilize on the 14th, demob 2 weeks after that. They will have the golf cart parking area closed during that time, so pardon that construction. 4 folks are attending the leadership class starting tomorrow, right? Wednesday and Thursday, so that'll be great for our staff. Clubhouse stairs, kudos to Public Works, Odie and Jorge. They redid all the steps out front here. There was a little bit of safety issue there, and then out back it was all sinking down, and they raised that back up. So I thought it was gonna take 2 or 3 weeks, and they had it done in 2 days, so pretty amazing. Holiday decorations, the rental for the man lift has been secured for the 2 weeks that we need it, one before Thanksgiving, one after New Year's. And we have about a 1K ready to spend, just need some direction on, what we're needing to get for all that. And then lastly, the banners for the front entrance for the Christmas holidays are being ordered, and hopefully be here in time for that. Any questions?
Yeah, just curious on the, for the holiday decorations, that 1K, does that include the, lift rental, or is that separate?
That's separate.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the lift did come up more expensive than what I conceived from last year, but then I think they only kept it for like 2 days and got it back, so we'll play with it, but we have budget for that.
With regard to Daniel Drawer Avenue, any idea when that might open, once they get the, I mean, what the lead time might be for the transformer and that?
I don't. They've gone back and forth with the transformer. They put 2 transformers in, so hopefully this next time they get it right, and then the electrician won't run wiring to it until it's right. Then once they do that, they'll hook up the can receptacle, and then they'll go and put the meter in. So I would hope 2 weeks, but I've been wanting the road open for 2 weeks for about 3 months now, so. But we did work it out with, Galveston County. It's about $50,000 hit, and they were going to cover that cost for the, turn lane. And hopefully they'll get our street signs corrected and remove the League City version. That's out there. Next is, item 4, staff reports, Police Department Interim Chief Donaldson.
Mayor, Council, we conducted 71 traffic contacts, no DWIs for the month of October, 7 narcotic offenses, 2 welfare check, 5 disorderly conduct. Assist agencies, other agencies, we had 6 reports of that. Residential checks, 39, business checks, 495. That's it.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the chief? Having none, item 5, public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business may speak to city council. Topic of discussion must be consistent with the item listed on the agenda. In compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, city council may not deliberate. Comments from the public should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per individual. Anybody would like to address council at this time? And David, can you turn your mic on, and we'll have to turn the other mic Turn your mic off and that other mic on. Well, okay, which one's on? Only one can be on. Okay, thanks.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Patrick Michalski, 1019 North Shore Drive. Back on October 10th, I requested a copy of the recent CAV visit. This is, for those of you that are aware of what a CAV is, FEMA comes in and does a community assistance visit to ensure that the city is being compliant with the ordinances. Haven't received that yet. I understand there may be some delay.
Mr. Michalski, I'm sorry, but this doesn't have anything item on the agenda.
You can't just, we can't come up here and use this forum to speak to council and to the
No, it
mayor.
has to be with compliance with an item that's on the agenda.
So the citizens don't have a place to really air their questions if it's not on the agenda.
Well, you can
What
talk
you're
to council members and stuff, but. When can we do that? So well, you can ask to speak to council and put it on the agenda. And that can be done on Wednesdays, by Wednesday.
So by following Wednesday, we need to ask to speak to council based on what's on the agenda from the previous.
No, you can address council, you just need to be put on it.
If it never gets put on council, then it never gets discussed.
That's true, in public comments area.
And,
But you can ask to be put on the agenda,
okay,
is that correct?
As a scheduled visitor, yes.
Scheduled visitor.
all right.
Okay, so as a scheduled visitor, for the meeting, that will be 2 weeks from tonight, we would wanna be on, I would wanna be on the agenda because it's gonna be a much more public forum than it would be tonight.
That's fine. You can send in just send in your name and the date that you wanna be a scheduled visitor, and I need a topic that you're going to speak, and then you'll be placed on the agenda.
And send that in to who?
To me.
To you?
Yeah. City secretary,
Oh,
yeah.
your sister. Sorry, I didn't recognize you.
That's okay.
And send that to you by when? This coming Wednesday?
It's Wednesday prior to the next meeting.
Alright. It's gonna be much more public if I do it then. I like to keep it quiet, maybe keep the city, the community, calm right now.
Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jesse Young, 920 Grove. I came last meeting. Still wanted to hear an update on 515 Clear Lake Road. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? All right, having none, item number 6, council, any member want to pull, consent agenda items A, B, or C? Having none, does this council member have any objections to consent agenda? Having none, consent agenda is accepted. Item number 7, old business, discussion and possible action may be taken on the following items. Item A, ordinance 2022-08, an ordinance of the City of Clear Lake Shores, Texas, amending Article 7, short-term rentals of Chapter 18, business and business regulations, by amending Section 18-133, short-term rental permit, required to limit the number of short-term rental permits to 20, by amending Section 18-134, short-term rental compliance with other law, to make it unlawful to rent a short-term rental unit to any person under the age of 25, and prohibiting space, that was supposed to be removed. It's in the, well, you can amend motion. rental unit person under age of 25 and prohibiting space below base flood elevation being eligible for a short-term rental permit by amending section 18-135 permit registration fee, application, and occupancy regulations by changing the fee and timing of a short-term rental permit, requiring additional information in a short-term rental permit application, making other changes to the application process, and providing for civil penalties for violations by amending section 18-136 notification complaints, to require noise and conduct complaints to be directed to the police department and placing a maximum of 4 violations per owner or operator by amending section 18-137 compliance and penalty provision by mandating that all short-term rental permits issued to an owner or an operator shall be revoked upon a 5th conviction of a violation of this ordinance by amending section 18-138 permit suspension or revocation, appeal to remove the requirement of a conviction prior to suspension or revocation by amending section 18-139 minimum standards of conduct by adding requirements to the minimum standards of conduct to be provided to all renters of a short-term rental unit, providing a penalty in an amount not to exceed $2,000 for any violation of this ordinance, with each day constituting a separate violation, providing a severability clause and an effective date.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the changes to the ordinance with the exception of the short-term rental compliance, to remove the age restriction, which it is in this part right here, just not in that.
The removal of
section.
section 18-134 short-term rental compliance with other law to make it unlawful to rent a short-term rental unit to any person under the age of 25, and that's it.
Correct, yeah, like we have it here.
Yep. I have a second.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Linday, second by Mr. Scanlon. Discussion?
Yeah, I got a couple questions, Monica. So, I noticed that one of the emails you sent out said that these changes are being made from what we heard in the city council meeting. Is there a reason that we never reconvened as a committee on any of these changes before it went back to the lawyer?
Nobody in the committee responded saying they wanted to meet again, whenever I sent it out.
Well, I guess I didn't see that, where we were scheduling a meeting, that's why I'm asking.
Well, we weren't scheduling one if nobody wanted to have one. If everybody agreed with what changes were made, there was no need to have one. And nobody disagreed with anything. Craig called me, and we talked through his concerns, but...
Okay, so, not to sound ugly, but why would we have a committee if we're just gonna take whatever they want and put it down and take it to the lawyer? Why do we need a committee?
Well,
I would think that those suggested changes, we would have had another meeting.
the suggested changes were made by council, for the most part.
No, we
With the
discussed it.
exception of the fee structure.
Yeah, and that's in there too, and we changed that.
Mhm.
So I'm still curious why the committee didn't meet to approve those changes before we sent it to the lawyer to be voted on by council. That would have been the
That's the only
proper
reason.
way, I
Cause there
think.
was, cause that's why, because nobody said they wanted to meet again. That's the only reason. If
I
you
think
would
we
like,
should meet
we
again
are
and
more
talk
than
about
happy to have a meeting to discuss it. Craig?
I think we should have.
Okay. We can.
Cause I talked to Georgette and some other, the people that are on the committee, and nobody knew anything about it.
It's in the email with all the changes. I sent it long before it went to Lauren.
Okay. Well, I think we should have a meeting with that committee to approve all those, or the committee is kinda useless, in my opinion.
Okay. Although, since council is all here, is there anything else that you guys want to see changed?
I think you still have the thing in there about, if somebody gets, from a guest in a year, 4 complaints, violations or whatever, they, get their permit pulled. Okay, I am not good with that, 'cause they don't have control over their guests. And so my big question is, how enforceable is this? Last time we met, we asked the question, if police are driving around and there is something that's obviously being operated as a STR that doesn't have a permit, what do? We can't do anything.
Pretty much exactly the same as if any other law. I mean, it's as enforceable as they can make it.
So what's the purpose of doing this, and if it's not gonna be enforceable?
Well, it's as enforceable as the police are able to. I am open to any kind of suggestion as to how you think we could make it more enforceable. I mean, I've asked that question a couple times to anybody. I mean, there's
Yes,
just certain things that can't be, I'm not an officer, for one, so I can't say for sure how something can be enforceable. Help me. I mean, the whole purpose of this ordinance started because everybody said that the police officers' hands were tied, and that the city administrator's hands were tied because there wasn't any kind of teeth in our ordinance. So we took a collection of all of the ideas that everybody had, and we tried to give it some teeth, and now everybody's saying, how can we enforce the teeth? Which I get, it's a very valid question, but honestly, there are just some things that are going to be a challenge to enforce, but at least having pen to paper and having them armed with the ability to write a citation, or for the city administrator or the building inspector to write a notice of violation based off of what they've seen or what the officers have reported or what the neighbors have reported, and they're able to look into, that's the only way we can start. I mean, there's no other way that I know of to be able to monitor this. But I'm open to any suggestions.
Well, I guess the other issue I've got too, there's just so many unknowns right now in the Texas legislation as far as, STRs, and the number of communities that have been sued and, to put it bluntly, lost their you-know-whats in court. I for one, I don't wanna see us put into a position where we put something like this onto paper, we try to enforce it, and as soon as we do, we get tied up in a lawsuit that could, potentially have the city go broke.
Well, that's why we've had the attorneys review it multiple times, and they feel like the things, they've removed some things that they felt would put us in danger. They've added some things, and they've approved these few things that we've put in here to give it a little bit of teeth. It's not a lot. I mean, the main thing we did to control STRs in our neighborhood was by limiting the amount of them.
I guess again, that the whole question is, we only actually issue 20 permits. Suppose we got 5 people that go ahead and, I don't need a permit, I'm gonna do it.
It's a 100% a problem, but
So, I mean,
without
sounds to me
saying
like
that there's
the only
a,
thing this ordinance is gonna do is keep honest people honest.
it gives us the ability to write a citation to somebody who is operating that is not licensed. Before, they didn't even have that ability. So now at least they can write the citation. The person can choose to pay it or not pay it. I mean, just like they can a traffic ticket or, running a red light. It's no
Okay,
different.
well, if you go and you run a red light or something like that, there's different things that they can do to make sure that that gets paid.
They can
Would
take them to
we-
court just like we can take them to court for, if somebody has an STR that's listed on Airbnb, right, but they're not a permanent STR, the city now can write them a citation. Now, they can fight it all they want, but it's a citation no different than running a red light. It's a citation.
So the citation, do they get a court date? Or do we have to take them to court?
We will either have to take them to court, or they will have it, I mean, I don't know, honestly, I don't know, but
No, it
we at
ends up
least
going
can
to
write
court.
the citation, and yeah, they have the, they can either pay it, apply for a license, or they can keep operating as is, and we can keep citing them, and then take them to court to get paid. But now when we take them to court, the law's on our side. So at a minimum, we can put a lien on the property.
You know, it's on our side as far as our ordinance goes, but then again, with everything that's in the Texas State Legislature right now, they could come back and they could really bite us, and, you know, not only we will not collect, the fines that we're trying to collect, we could also get sued.
So dare I ask, how would you like it changed? Help me
At-
here.
Yeah,
I
at
mean,
this point, I'm just wondering, should we even be going down this road of
yes,
trying to,
I believe so, yes. We have to have something in place. And there's nothing in here that the Texas legislature is gonna say you can't have, short of saying you can't require your people to have a permit. That's the only thing.
Exactly.
But that hasn't
My point
happened yet.
exactly.
That hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, I don't foresee it being a huge burden on the city. We gotta do something. We can't say what if, and then it never happens, and then our residents are left with zero protection against it. I mean, this is something that is hugely asked for, and we're working to make something that makes sense.
So who's setting the penalty for doing this? It says up to $2,000.
So that's if it goes to court, and the court will decide that dollar amount.
The judge
The judge.
sets that.
The judge will set that, in that one section of it.
What judge? County court judge, JP judge, or our municipal court judge?
County court judge. Is that right? Or city court? City,
Citation here,
so city,
No,
I'm
it'd
sorry,
be
city
here.
court here. City court here.
I don't think you can, I might be wrong, but I don't think you can fine us $2,000 in the municipal court.
It's been went through all that stuff. And then eventually it's gonna move into into the zoning portion where the permits are gonna given, and then it has even more teeth. And that will go to the county.
So we're gonna have officers issue violations, as you say, but they're gonna be going to court and they know nothing about it. They don't have any certification, they don't have anything. It sounds like the building inspector needs to do the enforcement, move the police out of it. We know nothing.
Well, it depends what it is, if it's noise or something like that, and that'll go down that road. But if it's something that somebody's operating in a legal or certified or whatever, STR, then they have to go after the homeowner and then issue them a ticket, and then it has to be served, and then it goes to the court, and then the judge may or may not give them a fine.
So you want the officers to issue the citation?
But no, the building department is in those situations.
The officers are only for,
Breaching the peace?
exactly,
Right.
disorderly conduct. The same things that you would do anywhere in our residence. You know, any laws that our residents would break, the golf cart, you know, yeah.
But the other,
Any of our normal laws.
and then the other ones that are like housing ordinances and stuff like that, tall grass,
Well, there's
junk
nothing in here about
vehicles.
tall grass.
No, I'm talking about our other ordinances. That's how those are handled through the building department. So a
Your-
recommendation would be to amend your motion to table this, and to, if you wanna discuss again, and then meet with your committee, then set a date when to return this back to council.
I have one input, Monica.
Yes, please.
Item, section 18-134, item G, the base flood elevation. I think you should tie that back to the section in our ordinances that define what a base flood elevation is, rather than try to redefine it here, because this differs a little bit, from that.
What else?
Any further discussion?
I have a question about the parking, because that's gonna be the one item that's probably violated most after hours. And is that something that the police are gonna be able to look at and have the parking diagram on file and say, hey, you have 16 cars parked all up and down the street, and issue the citation? Because if we rely on the building official to do that, Friday night and Saturday night,
They're
never
not
gonna
there.
happen. So that would have to be done by the police.
And yes, I mean, I would think that would be something that they could definitely do. Anything else? Now's the time to speak up, because you guys, we can't talk about it if we're not here.
Thank you for updating that fee schedule. I think it's much improved.
Thank you. All right. I amend my motion to table this to a later date when the committee can meet and vote.
And you have a date to bring this back to council?
No, because I don't know when the committee's going to be able to meet to vote.
Can we try just the first meeting in December?
Absolutely, we can try for that.
All right, thank you. All right, so amending the motion to table this ordinance 2022-08 until they can meet with the ad hoc committee and then bring it back to city council the first Tuesday in December. Any discussion? I guess I need a motion. I need a second, sorry.
Oh, second.
All right, any discussion? Nope. Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Having none, motion passes. Item 8, new business discussion, possible action may be taken on the following items. Item A is appointment of 4 members of the Economic Development Corporation for Clear Lake Shores. Positions will expire October 31st, 2024. Current members expired are Johnny Boltinghouse, Thomas Holland, Mike Pons, and Sean Dunnigan. And I just want to thank everybody out there. I think we had 5 new applicants, and it's a great to see the interest for all that stuff. And then I believe Johnny addressed the council of what EDC desires, and so other than that, I think the existing folks that are on the board are doing a great job, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on, and keeping that going would be pretty important.
I'll make a motion to appoint, or reappoint the 4 existing members of the EDC to stay on EDC based on those activities that they have going on. And I encourage the others, like I did Jesse when he applied 3 or 4 times, not to give up, keep reapplying. There will be something that comes open, but I think it is important to keep them together. And after speaking to Johnny, he reiterated that that's what he would like to do and move forward.
I'll second that.
I'm not repeating all that. The motion for keeping the existing members, Johnny Boltinghouse, Thomas Holland, Mike Pons, and Sean Dunnigan. Have a motion by Mr. Cronister, second by Mr. Fisher. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Having none, motion passes. Item B is executive session. A governmental body may conduct an executive session to discuss matters dealing with individual officers or employees. Specifically, this exception allows governmental bodies to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of public officer or employee, police chief, and city administrator. Recess at 7:04. I guess over across the street, unless everybody's leaving. What are you stepping on? Oh. No.
You don't have to gloat about it.
chill out there.
We can cut hair short. Why don't you bring it by? Let me look at it. And we'll make up a round to go get it.
Okay, that'll work. Okay, all right. Thank you.
And then I'll figure out how much it costs to make it, how much.
Hello? Hey, Jessica. Uh-huh. Yes. Well, we do 2 hour minimum. It's a 2 hour minimum and it's $100 an hour. Yeah, an hour. We could do 8 to 8. We get $60 an hour on that one. So I'd rather get somebody so it's not private. So he comes, nobody can keep him from coming in and leaving, right? But if he causes a disturbance or whatever, he can be able to leave and escort out the building, right? But we can't keep him from going in. No, well, y'all have it on your website. When you have it on your website, it's no longer private, right? And then when they run it in the paper, it's not private. So we can't keep him from going in, but we can keep him from causing a scene and disturbance, because we're having that. Usually we don't have any problems, but, people get in arguments when they ask for higher security, and, they don't want them coming to the service, and, and then after the service over, they make friends, and we kept them from going to the service, and we shouldn't have, so, yeah. Right, so we're good if they let him come on in if he chooses to, right? We can leave him at the door and say, hey, this ain't the time, this ain't the place, we're not doing this, right? And if he does it, we'll send him on. Yes. Disruptive. If he's disruptive, yes. 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 And he's cool. Yeah, no. attention is high, you know, they'll be friends next week, and then you get to see it because you didn't let him have peace, you know, his last peace with whoever, you know. And then, yes. Yeah. Well, just let me know, tomorrow, and if you need somebody at the last minute, I'll try to get somebody in. Yeah, yeah, I've got, Phil and I have training tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I could get somebody over here, just let me know. Alright? And I'll pay them out of my book, so it don't mess up my book. Yeah, I'll pay for their service, alright? Alright, give me a call, Jesse.